Hi friends, welcome back. So I want to do a follow-up to the last video, and we're talking about Russia paying YouTubers to put out Russian propaganda to influence the election, putting this out on YouTube, Twitter/X, and other social media platforms. And essentially now we have two of the YouTubers, this would be Tim Pool and Benny Johnson. They're issuing apologies. So they're not even denying the stuff. They're just saying, well, I'm sorry. And they're trying to say that they are victims. I want to go through some of the details of stuff as there's more information as this is coming in. This is a breaking story, and I also want to get your thoughts. Basically, guys, I'll just say I read through the whole indictment. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good for the YouTuber people. Frankly, if I just want to speak candidly, I think these people are traitors, and I have no sympathy for them. And I'll leave it at that, but I want to keep going over this. But basically, it looks like the Department of Justice has like all kinds of records, all kinds of emails. They have several dates. They have a timeline. What's interesting, though, about it is they don't actually name the YouTubers by name. They'll say like commentator number 1, commentator number 2, or founder number 1, founder number 2. Maybe they're gathering more evidence of why they don't name them specifically. But a couple of the YouTubers issued an apology, so that certainly doesn't look good for them. Again, this is Benny Johnson's apology. This is Tim Pool's apology. And also, too, this video surfaced of something Tim Pool said. I want to play it for you and have a listen for yourself.
They know it. But I don't know that it matters anymore. This is psychotic. Ukraine is the enemy of this country. Ukraine is our enemy, being funded by the Democrats. I will stress this again. One of the greatest enemies of our nation right now is Ukraine. They are expanding this war. Now, don't get me wrong. I know you've got criminal elements of the U.S. government pushing them and guiding them and telling them what to do. Ukraine is now accused, a German warrant issued for blowing up the Nord Stream pipeline, triggering this conflict. Ukraine is the greatest threat to this nation and to the world. We should rescind all funding and financing, pull out all military support, and we should apologize to Russia.
So that's Tim Pool, an American guy, being charged with taking Russian money to put out Russian propaganda. I mean, I don't think he can be any clearer than this, because, like, who says this kind of stuff, right? Essentially, he's basically saying, hey, let's just, he's blaming Ukraine, and essentially that's very sympathetic to Russia. I'm sure you guys can see it for yourself. I'm trying to contain myself here before I just start swearing and cussing, but let's read some of these things. So this is the apology. This is Benny Johnson. He says, a statement on the leaked DOJ indictment today. A year ago, a media startup pitched my company to provide content as an independent contractor. Our lawyers negotiated a standard arm's length deal, which was later determined. We are disturbed by the allegations in today's indictment, which make it clear that myself and other influencers were victims. Again, they're claiming they're victims in this alleged scheme. My lawyers will handle anyone who states otherwise. Okay. Tim Pool, he's going to claim he's a victim. He says, my statement regarding allegations and the DOJ indictment, should these allegations prove true, I, as well as the other personalities and commentators, were deceived and are victims. That's what he says. I cannot speak for anyone else at the company as to what they do or how they are instructed. So I'll just say flat, I think these guys are traitors. I'm just stating my opinion. Let the investigation play through. I believe that, people have the right to a trial and representation, all that stuff. But I just showed you some video evidence of the kind of content that they make. And for me, it's inexcusable. I already don't like the guy, but then when I see this, I'm just like, come on, man. And moreover, I read through, you guys can read for yourself, the indictment. I think it's like 32 pages, and it's very specific. There's some numbers thrown around, and who knows what the exact stuff is. We'll get maybe more info as this continues. But what are we talking about? Like $400,000 a month, $100,000 signing bonus, this kind of numbers that we're talking about. We're also talking about, I guess, in some emails, the person says Founder One replied in part that Founder One was, quote, happy to work with the Russian firm. So they can't pretend that they didn't know it was Russia, or they'll say something like this. Persona One informed Founder One, management marketing for the new platform, quote, be done by the Russian firm we agreed to hire, but you of course be the CEO and set the working standard, etc. So Russia stated throughout this, we have emails and negotiations of sort of like how much they're going to get paid, etc. And also too, you want to see what people are saying about this stuff. I just want to show you guys this. Here's someone, Alex is saying, bro, nervous AF right now. Maybe you can ask to share a cell with Steve Bannon. Another person says, show us the communication between your organization and Tenet Media reps. We need to verify this. And actually, the Tim Pool guy, he deleted his first apology and then reposted a different apology. I'll just say, like I said, in my opinion, these people are traitors. That's just my opinion. We'll let the courts run its course, but that video and plus the DOJ, they're making some very serious allegations. They have a ton of evidence, is what it sounds like. I read through the thing. You can read through yourself also. And I also want to read what other people are saying because okay. Here's something Peter says. It says, LOL, you reposted because you were getting destroyed in the replies. Either way, everyone should assume everything you post and every opinion you and your staff expresses is paid for. Your useless propagandist hack. I really hope you are into that because it's going to happen in prison, and so you can eat my Irish ass. Wouldn't it have been easier to listen to me when I corrected you about Ukraine last year? Oh, well, them's be right. Here's another one. We know you're a Russian propaganda, you dumb person. I didn't know I was sharing Russian information. LOL, right? So we're making fun of the guy's apology. Another person saying, I have a statement for you. Enjoy prison, you effing traitor. Another person, Russian asset says, what? Treason is a serious crime, Tim. I mean, you guys can see right here, people are taking this very seriously. I don't see any defenders, which is very interesting. A lot of times on Twitter, you'll see defenders for this kind of stuff, but not this time. Well, actually, I take that back. This one is saying, okay, Tim, the attack on you is a political smear job. And critics should note that even the DOJ doesn't accuse Tim or anybody else at Tenet of doing anything improper or illegal. Okay, so I want to address that. So it's correct if you actually read this. It refers to this as commentator number 1, commentator number 2, founder 1, founder 2. Their names aren't stated, but they mention like how many subscribers they have. When they talk about the firm, it's Tenet Media. It has like the same description as what's found on the website. And then you have Benny and Tim issuing apologies. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. I'll just tell you what it is. When are you changing your Bina to a Yashanka? Another person saying you're an effing communist. Another person says, guess the indictment wasn't leaked after all, huh, comrade? Russiagate 2.0. And then there's the video that's been circulating of him saying, yeah, and they mentioned the 400,000. And guys, I'm just showing you guys stuff because I'd like to hear your opinion on these things. Another person, so who was paid by Russia exactly? Who runs Tenet Media? Didn't your attorney advise you to shut up yet? But go ahead, keep talking, you scared boy. Another one, you threatened to sue Kamala and they come back to you with this. Okay, so that's a defense for him, and this guy's wearing a Trump hat in that. Whether or not these are real people, who knows? Although he's got 100,000 subscribers, we'll assume he's a real person on that one, but you never know for sure. Okay, this one. Strangely, the affidavit states that you knew it was Russia. Also, you had editorial control, so it was willing. Treason is something we take seriously. Here's another one. The indictment wasn't leaked, posted as corrected statement, so you can still... Yeah, so I guess in his first thing, he was thinking, oh, this is leaked, this is something like that. But like literally in public, the DOJ, like read it out loud, and that was Merrick Garland. Moreover, I mean, guys, this, like I said, usually you'll see a lot more like defense of these kind of people because Twitter's sort of like a right-leaning place and must. But I mean, comments are pretty brutal on this guy. I'm sorry, I got caught taking Russian money, and that's essentially a picture of Pool and someone saying that. Here's another one. He does personally owe it to me. This is the, I guess that would be the Emperor from Star Wars. Here's another one. I assume you're going to donating every single penny to charity, correct? There's no way you could possibly justify keeping money from hostile foreign actors who used you in a psyop, correct? Interesting. And yeah, I can't speak. I'm not a lawyer. I can't speak, how you would advise Tim Pool, other than I personally would not represent Tim Pool in this particular case. I'd be like, dude, I'm not touching you. I mean, and honestly, guys, I'm trying to think like, have we seen something of this nature to where we're talking about social media influencers? We know these people have, big followings. We're talking about the millions of followers. They put out content every day. I don't watch them every day. So I didn't know they were putting out like that kind of content, like saying, that Ukraine is the enemy, that kind of stuff. I just don't follow it, but I knew they were, how can I say, sympathetic to Russia, because I'll use the example of the Tucker Carlson thing. If you guys know Tucker Carlson, he interviewed Vladimir Putin on his channel. And then also too, he went to Russia and was saying all these great things about Moscow. You can't make this stuff up. So Tucker Carlson's not mentioned. Well, we'll just say no names are mentioned in the lawsuit, but I don't think Tucker is involved in this one. However, these things all look, how can I say, like like a coordinated effort. That's why I mentioned the Tucker stuff. And then also to the Tim Pool and the Benny Johnson apologies. Is Benny getting ripped up in the comments? Oh, yep. So here's Jerry Rig. Everything says, I'm a victim. You know, you're a traitor. I stand with Benny. Okay. We knew the left-wing DOJ. So one of these people it looks like these people are nicer to Benny than they are to Tim. Alex says DOJ indictment wasn't leaked. It was unsealed. You Russian stooge. It wasn't leaked. It was released. You're going to give back that dirty Russian money or nah? Another person says, nothing says you support the First Amendment like threatening to sue anyone that ridicules you for pushing Ruski propaganda. You're such a tool. Yeah, okay, that's pretty mean. But guys, honestly, and I've calmed down a bit. I was livid before. I'm, just trying to, how can I say, collect my thoughts and I just want to share this stuff with you. I mean, I don't want to imply that I'm not mad, but I can actually speak like a sane person right now. When I first heard this stuff, I was, let's just say, I was not a friendly person. But if the law plays out the way, go back to Russia, Benny Johnson. If the law plays out and the justice comes out that all the evidence is, looks bad for them, lock them away. That's all I have to say. Make them face the fullest extent of the law. Willingly taking money from the Russians and promoting Russian propaganda. I have no sympathy for you. Leaked bro, you caught. Own it. We stand with Benny. Okay, there's another one stand. We've got your back. Okay. Here's a conservative person. There's no surprise it happened 3 days ago after Tim Pool announced. Okay, so they're trying to claim. I'm just telling you guys what they're saying. They're trying to claim. I guess Tim Pool is trying to sue Kamala for some reason. Who knows? And so then they're trying to say this is a fight. The thing is, though, it's like, you can't like come up with like this trail of emails and like, money things so quickly to say that it's just, tit for tat. And again, this is it right here. I think from my understanding of it is that there were 2 people named in terms of Russians, and they said there's like other people at large. So I don't know if we're out searching for people at the moment. Here's another one. Will you be leaving Tenet after learning of their Russian influence? Another person says, I really don't understand people who can sell out their own country. And then I leaked DOJ indictment or whatever. So I want to hear you guys' thoughts on this thing. Again, I don't think this is a great defense saying victims. So they're not denying this stuff. They're just saying that, oh, I'm a victim. I took the money and they took advantage of me. So, from what I can tell is they knew they were working with Russians, and plus, they're the ones putting out the content, so they know what they're saying. And I have no sympathy for these people. We'll see what happens. I want to hear your thoughts on this, and I'll catch you all in the next video.